Hey everybody, welcome back to the Castle of Dr. Brain. So we are once again in an elevator for the third time, and I think for the last time. So this is it's another elevator. I mean, it's visually different. Yeah, somebody painted the walls to give you the feeling of traveling through space. And that'll tie in with what we are about to experience after the maze. But I mean, yeah, it's just another elevator maze. So as before, I'm just going to go ahead and check my walkthrough and just cheese it because I don't really see much point in just getting lost in the maze over and over. So let's see, we go forward and right, forward, up. We go right, forward twice, and down. Then we go forward and we go up. Right, forward, up. Left, forward, right, forward. And then we go up, forward, down, right, forward, left, forward, down, backwards, right, forward, down, left, forward, right, forward, up. We're almost there. So forward, up, backwards 3 times, right, forward, up, forward twice, down, left, forward, up, left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, right, forward, left, forward, and then you turn to the right, and there's the exit. I just can't imagine. There are two things that are hard for me to imagine. The first is that this is educational in any way, and the second is that it's fun in any way. I mean, this game, it's I guess it's not really. I was thinking about today. It's not really an educational game per se because it doesn't necessarily address educational themes. It's more like a kid's game. It's a children's game, but not necessarily an educational game, which is fine. I mean, it's a kid friendly game, and kids can have fun with mazes and things like that. But again, I just really don't feel like it. Uses its medium as a computer game very well. I mean, just putting people in mazes like this. I mean, kids do mazes on paper. I mean, you can buy a book full of mazes for kids and things like that. So just putting stuff like this in a computer game is kind of misusing the medium, kind of wasting the potential of computers as a way to present media to kids. But anyway, I know I keep complaining about this. I'm sorry. But it's not even much fun. I mean, a maze like this, it's not even that much fun to navigate. So even as a non-educational product, it's not really much fun as a game. Anyway, we leave the maze and we find ourselves in a planetarium in the basement because that's a logical thing to do when you're Dr. Brain. Maybe the same kind of person who'd put the sun and stars in the sky at the same time. Well, I don't think Dr. Brain is the person who put the sun and stars in the sky. I mean, depending on what you believe, that's either God or just physics. I mean, I don't think Dr. Brain is either God or physics, unless he has a very high opinion of himself. But yeah, so he's arranged for several of his favorite constellations to appear on the planetarium dome. Your gaze moves across the majestic heavens just above the smog line. What smog line? I don't see it, unless this is the smog line, but I don't think it is. And this here is just a painted image of the sun. I don't think painted images move, unless it's a painted GIF or GIF, GIF, GIF. Okay. It's more interesting looking at the stars than being one. Nobody's seen using this manhole covers that Dr. Brain picked up to use as a planet. Smart move. This planet might be Saturn, at least that has the right ring to it. Yeah, all the single ladies, if you like Saturn, you should have put a ring on it. I probably got that song wrong, I'm sorry. Is either an Earth-like planet or a hard-boiled egg. It's missing this baked potato for some time. The spinning globe accurately depicts all of the Earth's major geophysical and political features. Oops, there go the Baltic states. Kaks taste good. This polished wood cabinet looks totally out of place in this astronomy room. It's securely locked. Okay, and just to check, I tried using the hand on it, and it is indeed securely locked. All right. Let's see. At least you know what happens to the hole after they cut it out of a donut. I mean, all this is just filler text, obviously, but, it's worth... Oh. Okay, so I started this sequence. So, right, so now we're supposed to find... we're actually supposed to find 4 constellations. They're pretty evenly spread out here. I mean, maybe it's hard to tell right now. Basically, there's one constellation around here, there's one around here, there's one around here, and there's one around here. So they're pretty nicely laid out. What I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to crank down the difficulty. If you know where the constellations are, you can fairly easily find them. Like if you have a picture of them, you can fairly easily find them on the expert difficulty. But without reference, it's kind of difficult because you have to know exactly which stars to click on, and sometimes that's not always easy. So I think they just go in order like this from left to right. So we start here and then do the second one here. So what were we supposed to find? Right, so you can sort of see here, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stars here. That's, I guess, well, these are 7 stars. Okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and turn on these 7 stars. And you can sort of see, might be a little hard to see, but if you look closely, you should be able to see it. There's a brown line connecting them. That is the reason why I turned on the novice level, because otherwise... Actually, theoretically, I guess you could do this without it. It's just, I find it easier to figure out which stars belong to the constellation when there's a brown line connecting them, because if you turn on a star that doesn't belong to the constellation, like this one, there's no line connecting them. So you can kind of... Yeah, this one belongs to the constellation because it drew a brown line. So it's just a little hard for me to tell otherwise. And, you know, constellations are always very interpretive. Like, even as a kid, I had trouble seeing shapes in constellations that people claim to be there. Like, I mean, this is... What even is this? It's like... I don't know what Perseus is. It looks like a warrior holding Medusa's head and a sword. That's probably exactly what it is. But really, look at this. Does this look like a warrior holding Medusa's head and a sword? No, it looks like an acute angle. Well, it looks like a flat line here, and then sort of like a triangle with one side missing. I mean, you have to be really interpretive, really imaginative to say, yeah, that looks like a guy holding a head and a sword. But yeah, there you go. That's Perseus. Okay, yeah, when you put this graphic on top of it, now it looks like a guy holding a sword. But can you really say that these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that those 8 dots, this pattern of 8 dots looks like anything? Anyway, okay. Ursa Major, which is the Big Dipper, or, well, it's not. It contains the Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is part of it. This one's a little easier. So it does... This one, I have to admit, sort of looks like a bear, or at least like a 4-legged animal. So you can kind of see, this is the tail here. I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with... Some of you might not be familiar with astronomy. I'm not. I know very little about astronomy, but I know that you know, this shape here is the Big Dipper because it's got, like, you know, these 4 things here which look like a scoop. Well, it's a rectangle, but if you think of it like the scoop of a you know, measuring cup or something, and then here's the handle. So this here is, yeah, that's the Big Dipper, but it forms the tail end, literally, of Ursa Major, the big bear, because, yeah, the limbs of the bear go down like this. So here you have, you know, the back legs of the bear, and then here's the front of the bear's body, and then here are its front legs, and I guess that's its head. Okay, I wouldn't especially say that looks like a bear, but it looks kind of like an animal. I mean, yeah, on the left there's like a tail coming out, and then at the bottom there are like 2 legs. Okay, that kind of looks like an animal. That's not stretching it that much, in my opinion. That's a little more. I can see that, yeah. And then Cancer, not the disease, but the star formation. Actually, the reason why the disease is called cancer is because it looks like a crab. The way that a tumor forms in the body, it has little veins of tumor that sort of spread out, and it forms a shape that kind of reminded ancient civilizations of a crab, and so they named it after a crab for that reason. This one is also very interpretive. So it's basically, you can see these 4 stars in a tight square here, or diamond or whatever. So that's like the center of it, and then a few limbs kind of splayed out like this. And there you go. That's supposed to be the crab. Come on, that does not look anything like a crab. That looks like a little square with 3... It looks like a tripod or a caltrop or something. That is not a crab. Like, that is being extremely generous to say that's a crab. And yeah, Orion, which is famous for... I mean, I guess the most distinguishing feature of Orion is this big rectangle with the 3 stars in a row in the middle. That's a pretty distinctive shape. If you look at the night sky, you can pick that out fairly easily. That's pretty distinctive. Here, the 3 stars in a row are interpreted as his belt, I guess. I mean, obviously, he's a hunter hunting this... What is this thing that he's holding? I can't even tell what kind of animal that is. It really does not look like any animal that I recognize. Maybe it's a fictitious, mythical animal? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so yeah, this is also being a little bit generous, but okay, I mean, this rectangle can represent anything. Maybe it represents the torso of a person. It could also represent a parking space, or a slice of pizza with the tip cut off, or it could represent... I don't know, it could represent many things, but okay, you can kind of be a little bit generous here and say, yeah, maybe this is the torso of a person, and then this is the person's arm reaching out and doing like a flex to show how burly they are, because you're all girly men and you're not as buff as Orion. And then, let's see, are these stars part of it? Looks like they are. There we go. Yeah, congratulations, you look, I mean, that's just a rectangle with some lines coming off it. I mean, that could be anything, but okay, yeah, sure. It's a hunter. It's a hunter holding a club and whatever he's holding, whatever animal he's about to club to death. Out of this world, you've located all of the constellations in the star map. Yeah, I could have probably done that on the expert difficulty. I could have probably done that without the without the brown lines, but it helps definitely, because, you know, sometimes it's hard to... I could have probably done an expert level, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Oh yeah, so after you do that, this cupboard opens and this flying saucer escapes. I think the frame rate on the video does not quite capture how manic this looks. Yeah, the frame rate on the video is a little bit slower than the actual game. So when you see this in the video, it's going to look... It still looks pretty... I'm looking at the video feed. It still looks pretty crazy, but it looks way crazier in the actual DOSBox window. It looks like twice as crazy as it's going to look on the video. So we need to catch that thing, and I think for this I'm going to slow DOSBox down, way down. Slow DOSBox down quite a lot. Let's see, can I look at this thing actually? The poor alien in the flying saucer looks terribly lost. You should try to help him find his home. So we do that by simply clicking. It looks a little bit like... Actually, I just realized it looks like Roger Wilco from the VGA remake of Space Quest 1, because he's wearing that blue spacesuit. It is Roger Wilco from Space Quest 1, from the VGA remake of Space Quest 1. Which figures, Sierra is... Anyway, okay, let's see if we can catch him now. Come on. Free! Free at last! Yeah! Yeah, that is a lot more difficult when DOSBox is sped up as it was before. Okay, I'm going to speed it back up again because it doesn't need to be that slow now. Okay, so these aliens have lost their homes. Pick any 2 face-down cards and try to match an alien with its home planet. When you make a successful match, the cards will turn face up. Yeah, it's concentration. It's memory. You turn up a card, and then you try to find another card that matches it. So mechroids like to build for the future. Oh, the future. Oh, that was just pure luck. That was just total luck that the first 2 cards happened to match. Usually it's, I mean, this part is actually random. This is, in contrast to many of the puzzles in this game, this part is actually randomized every time you play. So, hey, it's a planet called Metallica, which exports heavy metal bands. Okay, fine. Okay, so we've matched the creature with his home. He'll be much happier now. Yeah, basically the goal of this is just to find alien races and match them with their planets where they belong. So Graviton is a massive planet. Winged Icarians have flighty personalities. Okay, they probably wouldn't work out very well on a gravitational planet. Let's see. Geoids really like to rock the house. Well, rocks have gravity. Do they fit with a... Okay, they don't fit with the massive planet. Let's see. Get ready for a hot time on Magma 4. Giras always rise to... Okay, obviously it's supposed to be like giraffes. Always rise to the occasion. Stroud is famous for its strange striped towers. Just wondering... It looks almost like a giraffe, kind of like it's striped. Okay, no, it does not match with a giraffe. Okay, Strigers strive to create strong structures. Okay, this is this looks striped like a tiger. Maybe that's... There we go. Yeah, okay. So the towers are striped and the Strigers are striped. So Strigers strive on Stroud to create strange, striped, strong structures. Try saying that 5 million times fast. Okay, what else do we have here? Visit the scenic sky cities of Arios. Okay, a sky city. That probably would work out well with the, yeah, with the winged aliens. Those go together. These are kind of like the alien races from Star Control. Kind of reminds me a bit of some of the races from the Star Control games. Anyway, the webbed amphiton species are washouts as diplomats. I'm going to guess that they belong on a planet with a lot of water on it. Not this one. Hallucidar is known for its spectacular sunsets. Mastodons are never at a loss in weighty matters. Ooh, weighty matters. Maybe they like the gravity planet. That was this one here, isn't it? Yeah, there we go. Graviton is a massive planet. They like gravity and mass. Veltus high plains feature even higher trees. Okay, this has got to be the giraffe. There we go. Yeah, that works out. The Molari, okay, a mole, are firmly rooted in their environment. So... an environment with a lot of dirt to dig through? Okay, well 95% of Oceania is covered by water. Okay, that'll be the people who are washouts as diplomats. That's these guys. And girls. People. That's this race. Okay, we have just 4 left, so what did we miss? Geoids like to rock the house. Okay, they don't like Hallucidar, so... Okay, so these guys must like Hallucidar then. What do moles have to do with sunsets? I don't really see the connection. Oh, but I do see on the picture on the right, I do see that there are a lot of what look like little molehills. So, okay, I guess you have to... That one has to go based on the picture. Alright, and geoids like to rock the house on Magma 4. What does rocking the house have to do with magma? I mean, that's obviously volcanoes, but I don't really see what they have to do with each other. I mean, lava is basically molten rock, so I guess there's that connection, but... Alright, so yeah, it's kind of a memory game combined with, I guess it's a little bit more than memory game because you kind of have to imagine which aliens belong to which planets, but it's not that difficult in my opinion. Anyway, well done, you've performed a major feat of intergalactic diplomacy by helping all of the aliens return home. You're awarded the Star Medal First Class. Oh. At the dawn of mankind, some mysterious power conferred intelligence on our ancestors. Now the monolith is the gateway to even greater knowledge, the office of Dr. Brain. But to pass through the monolith, you must show that you know the cradle of mankind, your own star system. Tag each of the planets with its name if you can catch it. Okay, so we'll need to, Oh yeah. I remember, I'm still on the novice, on the easiest difficulty setting. So basically here you just have to tag each of the 9 planets. Remember, this is the time when Pluto was still considered a planet. The only difference with the difficulty setting is, watch what happens on the hardest difficulty setting. See there, the planets move faster. Okay, these still move reasonably slowly, but Mercury, the one closest to the sun, is just... It's a little harder to catch because it's going so fast. That's the only real difference in the difficulty setting. Okay, let's go ahead and leave this for next time because we're actually very close to the end of the game now. So I could just end it in this video. Yeah, I could do that, but let's go ahead and make one more video out of this. Let's go ahead and leave this one here, and next time around, I will, yeah, we'll go ahead and finish the game. So thanks for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you next time as we finish the Castle of Dr. Brain. Ta-ta for now.